Publicist is an online marketplace that connects freelance PR and marketing professionals with brands that are looking for a project-based solution. The reason that I started Publicist, it was actually born out of a problem that I had. I'd previously run marketing for several brands, and I always needed premium on-demand talent and didn't necessarily want to engage with a recruiter or an agency. And so the way the industry really operates is through word of mouth, and so it's our mission to automate that.
Publicist works on a pay-per-project basis. How can that benefit businesses?
Yeah, so I think, and especially as it pertains to COVID-19 and this year, brands don't stop spending, but they start spending in different ways. So to date, a lot of companies, they engage in these 12-month retainers. Being able to give brands back that autonomy and pay per project, it just gives the buyer a lot more flexibility. And I think the other thing is the diversity of services that exist today that didn't exist 10 years ago, from the rise of content creation and Amazon marketing and investor relations. It just gives a lot more flexibility to brands in terms of hiring for what they need and when they need.
Well, it's certainly come at a good time because it's been a devastating year for the industry with big cuts. Bauer Media has cut magazines and more than 70 jobs. What's your take on what has been happening in the industry, and where do you think it's going from here? Is now a good time for professionals to start freelancing?
Look, undeniably, it's been a really, really sad year for media, not only in Australia, but the rest of the world. And I think that the reason being is brands just weren't smart enough in terms of making the most of digital early. With regard to magazines and, for example, the Bauer closures last week, we may see resurrections of these magazines in more digital capacities. But I think it's a great time to start freelancing. We obviously have a surplus of phenomenal creative and media talent. And we've seen freelancers take to freelancing really well and really quickly.
Your platform connects talent and brands globally. You're Sydney-born but New York-based. COVID has certainly thrown us into a world of isolation, remote working and Zoom meetings. Do you think location is important anymore, or do you think that's a thing of the past and we'll soon see more people living in one country and working for a business or a brand in another?
Look, it's a great question, and I don't think anyone has the answer to it yet, but I think it'll be a little bit of both. I think that more than ever, brands will want hyper-localization and really try and get messages and marketing across from a localized perspective. But I think it doesn't matter where the person is that is doing the work, and we've seen that on the platform. We have a function where you can search for remote work, and nearly all the projects that come across the platform, people are opting in for remote work, and they really don't care where the freelancer is.
I have to ask, you've launched your company during COVID-19. You launched in New York earlier this year, Australia this week, potential plans for the UK coming up. What's it been like launching a company during a pandemic?
Look, it's been interesting. It's been challenging, but a lot of silver linings. It was funny. We were supposed to have this big launch party from the stock exchange, and instead we launched the company at 3 a.m. from a kitchen bench in the middle of the night. So definitely challenging, but it's been fantastic. And as we've seen a lot of trends this year, from brands downsize their teams to having this surplus of talent. We're really excited about this category of future of work.
What is your advice to someone who may have been made redundant and is now thinking about becoming a freelancer and essentially being their own boss?
Look, I think that there are so many resources out there now, and it's so much easier to become your own boss and start your own company today than it was even 2 and 3 years ago. So many people are doing it and have taken to it really well. I think that this year as well, we've seen that remote working and people working from home has a lot of silver linings, and so I absolutely encourage it, and there are lots of resources out there to learn how to quickly take to it.
So the website is publicist.co. What can people do to join the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are talent, you're able to sign up. We vet all talent to the platform. We have over 300 skills and services from anything that spans within communications and marketing. And if you are a brand looking for project-based work, please sign up and post a project.
And does it work for all businesses of all sizes, I should say?
Exactly. So it's really interesting. We have Fortune 500 companies and listed companies that have posted projects, and then we have, tiny little small innovative startups that have also posted projects. So we are industry and size agnostic.
Well, it's certainly come at such a great time. I think it's a platform that's going to be helping so many people. It's the future that's been brought forward to now. Lara Vandenberg, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Gabriella.